Welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and Happy New Year 2026. It's already January 8th. I don't know how much longer we can say Happy New Year, but Happy New Year to everyone. And schools are back in session. People are back to it. So great to be with you. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada. Wherever you're taking in your podcast, thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for your support. Leave us a positive comment. Leave us a question, and certainly jump in the show tonight. We are going to meet from the beautiful community of Holbrook, Arizona, Dr. Robbie Koerperich. Robbie, I'm working on it. Dr. Koerperich has been in Holbrook 24 years. Wow, been the leader there for a long time. And we got to know each other this summer, got to know that community. So we'll meet Dr. K in just a moment and certainly jump in the show. But first, a word from our sponsor. Very proud to be connected with IXL as an educator. I'm sure you're using them. I'm sure you see the benefits of IXL. And here's a word from them. I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part? Everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast. All right. Thank you for that. But let's get started. Again, we're going to meet Dr. K here in just a moment. But the opening concept, right? It's a new year, new time, the things that we do and the things that we fail to do, right? As a busy administrator, Robbie's been an administrator almost 25 years, a lifetime being a school leader. The things we do, we even forget we do them sometimes. But I recently got a phone call last month from a student. She was reaching out. She's moving back to the area. She has her own family now. She has her own children. And she said to me, she said, Mr. Murata, I really just want to thank you, for my time in high school. You may not remember, but you walked me out on homecoming night. There was a problem with her family. Something was going on, and there was a bit of a separation, and the young lady was by herself. I had forgotten that. Right. But it meant so much to her. Right. If I had another engagement, if I couldn't do it, if I chose to say no, whatever that was, but I was there, and here we are 20 years later, and she's calling me to say thank you for that moment, for that experience. Right. So school leaders here in 2026, think about that small act of kindness. Right. Everyone has that air bubble over their head, and some people are calling for help. Some people are calling for a hug. Some people are calling to be heard. And some people are calling to say, hey, can you walk me out on homecoming night? So be there for that person. Do those things. Man, we don't get bonus checks here in education, but man, that was one of the best things I had heard. It really rejuvenated me and energized me here for 2026. So I wanted to share that story and continue to do the great work you're doing out there, educators. But enough of me chit-chat. Here he is, the star of the show. Dr. K, welcome.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Home of the RoadRunners. Be that one RoadRunner. Welcome to the show, Dr. Rob.
Really appreciate you coming to Holbrook, Arizona to share your message. It's resonated throughout our entire district. We do things every day with being the one RoadRunner. So you kicked us off to a great start, and I just want you to know it's continuing today, and it will continue through the remainder of the year.
That's awesome to hear, Robbie. I certainly felt the energy that day, and we'll certainly get into that. But let's have an introduction from you. You've been there forever by way of Kansas, right? Kansas? Yeah, Kansas. And but you've been there almost your whole lifetime. Give us a little introduction, Robbie.
Yeah, so I grew up in Kansas, a little small town in rural Kansas, and taught 10 years out in Northeast Kansas, was an elementary teacher and high school basketball coach for 9 years, and made the transition to Holbrook, Arizona from Kansas. Never been here before, but the superintendent at the time was my first principal when he hired me out of Fort Hays State University in Kansas. And so he said, come out, we're building a brand new school, and you'd be the first principal in that school, and finishing up my ed degree. And so we came out and we took a look and said, well, we'll give it a shot for a year or two. And 24 years later, we've learned to love Holbrook. It's been a great place for us.
It is a beautiful community. Again, got to see it this summer. Gracious to be invited out there. Robbie, let's talk about 2026. How about you? What's one thing that you're going to start or you're going to do in 2026? And then what's that thing you're going to stop doing in 2026?
Yeah, that's a great question. AI is what I'm going to start, man. That is in my wheelhouse right now. In the leadership realm of how do we help our unique students develop through AI? How do we help our teachers to become more efficient and effective in what they do through AI, and our leaders as well? So that's kind of my goal for 2026, is to really engage in AI and figure out what that means in education. And so what I'm going to stop doing is wasting time by not using AI, because there's a ton. If I would have had AI during the pandemic wouldn't have been as terrible as it was, because the messaging and the way you can script things out and all the things that could have happened through AI in the pandemic. So, I think those are the two things that I really want to, well, first of all, start, and then kind of stop the wasting part of it. And I want to continue just to be the best leader that I can possibly be in 2026 too. You never stop becoming a better leader. So getting better every single day, helping our unique students develop in the Holbrook Unified School District, which is our motto. It's my passion. It's what we do. And I got another year to figure that out, to finalize it.
Getting better every year. Well, we have a first-year superintendent watching, Robbie, my friend Jeff Evner from Homer Schools, upstate New York. He's tuning in. So thank you, Jeff. But Jeff's not going to, Jeff isn't there 17 years as superintendent, 24 years. He's in his first year. What's the secret that Jeff is going to get there 17, 18 years, Robbie, as superintendent? You've been to soup there that long. What are some secrets to your longevity?
Well, I would say to Jeff that I've been a first-year superintendent for 17 years. That's the way it works. There's always something new. But I think longevity is achieved through relationships, having a strong family around you to be able to support you. Because, without my lovely wife, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this role. She's supported me because it's complex, it's difficult, it's stressful. There's a lot of dynamics around top leadership positions. And so I'd say that's number one. Relationships would be number two. And then just create success. That's the most important thing, is create the success that you can create in your district. And if people want to be part of successful districts, they want to be part of any type of success, whether it's your basketball team or your soccer team or your school or whatever. Success is so important. And so you got to find ways to create success, and people will follow. People will understand that you're doing the best that you can because you've reached those benchmarks. And that can be, redoing your gym floors is a success. Building a new school can be a success, or putting HVAC on can be a success, or getting B status or A status, or, whatever it is. Those are all levels of success that help you to build those opportunities to continue in leadership, because I think that's the bottom line, is people want to be part of successful organizations.
Yeah. And Robbie, I saw those relationships when I was with you. You were busy, but I was just following you along. And in that breakfast area, the amount of people that you spoke to, the amount of trays you helped refill, and just, so many people came up and spoke to you. And then even when you were walking me out, there was a parent found their way in there, and you took the time to speak to her, and then you directed her where she needed to go. And I just thought it was great. But I was able to see those relationships up front and close, and you in action there.
Yeah, and one of the things I've always held kind of close to my heart is that that I'm just another roadrunner. I'm not any bigger, better, or I just have a different role. We eat from the same table, but we all have different appetites and menu items. And you got to be one of the people that you're working with. You're right outside. If you see my truck, it's an old blue Dodge 2007, because that's what works in Holbrook, Arizona, man. I need to fit in amongst your people. And so, and that's what you do. You adapt to your environment and you try to make that environment better. And so I don't see myself as anyone other than the superintendent of a bunch of great RoadRunners in the Holbrook Unified School District.
Well, you're showing the way, Dr. Koerperich. But speaking about success, you had one of the most successful years academically on record there with Holbrook. What were some of the key ingredients there that led to that?
This was the highest performing year that we've ever had. We're all B schools, and we all want to be A schools, and we're that close on some of our profiles to being an A school. But I've been here 24 years, and not all of our schools have ever been all B schools, and we thought we could accomplish that this year, and we did. And I think it comes down to great people that make that happen. But those great people need great systems in place. We have a very basic concept. You got to make complex things like education simple. And so we have what is called the I3 philosophy, which is insight. You got to know who your kids are. You got to know who they are by student. You got to understand because every kid fits into that profile and helps you to achieve that championship or that profile that you accomplish. The second thing is instruction, having great instruction within your school system, having highly effective teachers, making sure they have the right materials and resources. That's why I'm so excited about AI. Is I think it can help our teachers individualize instruction more than we've ever been able to get to. I haven't cracked that code, so to speak. And then the third I is interventions. We have a lot of interventions in our school district, whether that's mentoring interventions or reading specialist or after school tutorial or what we call a Power of 5 program. We just want to make sure that we're not giving one dose. We're giving multiple doses to the kids that need multiple doses of education, and interventions allow us to do that. So I think, over the span of, there's never been one program, there's never been one thing that said, hey, if you just do this, this offense will win you championships. You have to make sure the offense that you run is ran very well. And so the systems that we run, I think we run quite well in our school district.
Yeah. Shout out to Ray Huart watching the show here from Illinois. Rob, I saw the celebrations too. You were that one Roadrunner the opening day. You were the MC and you were incredible. The thing ran like clockwork, but there was a lot of celebrations of that, the longevity of people, and then certainly the academic successes there. And it was nice to see it celebrated, but I love those 3 I's.
Yeah, it's worked for us. In running a school system and really any organizational system, I did this when I was a principal. I did this when I was a coach. You got to figure out the formula for success. And if you can figure out a formula and you can run a simple formula, and like, for example, in our state testing, we say content plus skill times motivation equals academic success. So if they know what they're supposed to be learning and they've learned it at that level that they're supposed to learn it, if there's a skill in taking a test and understanding, especially in today's world, it's not just about content. And then you multiply that by motivation, you're going to do okay. You're going to do okay. If you can get everybody, it's just like a coach, man. If you can get everybody on the team knowing the role and playing it well, you're going to win some games. And I think we've established that in our school district.
Yeah, the RoadRunners, Holbrook, Arizona. Friends, if you're watching live, jump in the show. This is Dr. Robbie Koerperich. Robbie, again, 17 years as SOUP, 24 years in district as a school leader. What's the most satisfying or gratifying part of the job? And then the flip side, what's the most challenging? It's not an easy, you've used the word complex a couple times now. It's not an easy job. So what's the most satisfying and what's the most challenging for you?
I think the most satisfying part of my role as a superintendent, and I think this has been in every role that I've been in as a superintendent or any kind of leadership position, is just being able to work with human beings and being able to see the success that the efforts you put forth are impacting the people that you're trying to impact. And then when they succeed, you succeed. We have a theme around here: when one Roadrunner succeeds, we all succeed. And so, when we have a kid that goes to college, we all go to college. When we win a state championship, we all win a state championship. And that's the culture that we've tried to build, is that we all enjoy one another's success. And I think that has been probably the most rewarding thing, is seeing kids succeed, seeing parents succeed, seeing staff succeed, and just feeling that success is so important. And for me to stay in the game, so to speak, it's hard, man, when you don't see the victories. You've been in sports, and I use a lot of sports analogies, that it's hard when you're not winning, man. It's a difficult thing. So, but when those victories come, you want to keep pushing, and you want to keep coaching, and you want to keep winning. And I'd say the most difficult thing is that I haven't cracked the code, man. I haven't cracked the code of what it takes to make every kid successful. And that bothers me every day. It bothers me that I don't know how to run a system, or I can't run a system right now to make sure that every kid that comes to our school district every day is as successful as they can possibly be. And I know there's a lot of variables with that, but the reality is that's our charge. That's what we're supposed to do as leaders. And we have so much power and influence over that it's difficult and disappointing when a kid doesn't graduate. It's disappointing when a kid fails a class. It's disappointing when a kid can't come to school because, there's situations at home, transportation, whatever it might be, or when kids have incidents and accidents. And, it's a difficult part of the job, but you got to hopefully celebrate those victories even more, because, they're far and few between.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the recent success. I know athletically there's been a number of state championships with basketball, some of your other sports, but congratulations there. But Robbie, you were awesome in sharing about the community too, making sure I understood the community I was walking into, that it is a heavily Native American culture. There's Native Americans in the community, and it makes up the school community. Tell me, what have you learned from someone from Kansas, right? What have you learned about that Native American community that you moved into that has helped your leadership?
Well, I mean, that's probably been one of the most enlightening aspects of my entire life. It's probably one of the things that I'm going to hang on to more than anything else in my career, is being able to be surrounded by Native Americans, specifically Navajo. The culture, the students, the staff, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I've learned a lot from them. I've learned about their environment and their world, and they're just such resilient people. I mean, if you could come see where our families live, and making the effort to get to school every single day, no running water, no electricity. We're putting solar panels on houses right now with a company to just get solar into their homes. And that's inspiring to me, because I think we're somewhat of a privileged society. We have Filipino teachers come over here and teach for us, and they're like, wow, I don't have these resources. One Filipino teacher, when I gave her first check of a couple $1,000s, she's like, it takes me 8 months to make this back in the Philippines. So the privilege that we have in America to be able to do the things that we do in our education system, I've seen the opposite of that. I've seen the people come from disadvantages, and our Native American population is so resilient, and they're so appreciative. And, I'm going to go to a game here in just a little bit, and the gym's going to be packed because we got 2 Native American. And if we had 6,000 seats in our gym, which some of our schools do, we'd fill it tonight.
Wow.
They're standing at the door at 3:00 in the afternoon to get in. We don't have that big of a gym, so it's really competitive. And I call that tribalism. The tribalism aspect of this is that, I'm a little bit Navajo. I'm not Navajo, not at all Navajo. But after 24 years, I don't have a clan. But you know what? I'm a little bit Navajo, and I'm always going to be a little bit Navajo. because you fit into that culture, right? You see that culture, you understand that culture, and it's just phenomenal. I wish everybody could experience working with the people that I've had the privilege of working with over the last 24 years. Just phenomenal.
Yeah. The RoadRunners out there, Holbrook, Arizona. You have some Native American culture classes there. You have a Native American teacher teaching the classes, and it was really cool to see it weaved into what you're doing there. And we'll make sure everyone stays calm tonight, right? That's the theme.
Yeah, had to police a little bit last year, but the Navajo culture is slowly dying because we have the grandmothers and the grandfathers that are very traditional, and then we have the moms and dads that are not so traditional. They've kind of gone the westernization phase, and then these kids are still trying to, like, they're losing their language and they're losing their culture. So we're very engaged with Navajo language, Navajo culture. We just had the JOM Johnson O'Malley Teacher of the Year come from the Holbrook Unified School District, and hey, that's a success, man. We love that kind of stuff because that doesn't happen often. But yeah, great people, great programs. Our grad rates above the state average, and for our Native American population, and kids come from literally miles and miles, like I'm talking 70, 80 miles away to come to school here, and they'll ride a bus 70 miles to get to our school system because we care about them. We've got great systems. Once a Roadrunner, always a Roadrunner, and they just like our culture.
Wow. It's really beautiful. Friends, if you're watching, jump in. Please ask a question or say hello to Robbie. Robbie, in addition to the longevity of the school, you mentioned your wife, beautiful pictures. Your family, you've been married 34 years, and I saw some babies in those pictures, and you just shared some good news. You're gonna double up your grandchildren there, but give me some secrets about balancing and surviving and thriving, not only being the school leader, but 34 years of marriage, and congratulations on the grandbabies. Give me some balance there of trying to make it all work.
Yeah, I've been blessed that my wife is also an educator. So we've been doing this together for 34 years, and so we keep. It's kind of interesting because we kind of keep the school aspect out of the home. I don't want her to live my world as a superintendent, and I definitely don't want to live her world as a reading specialist. She's got a lot tougher job than I'll ever have, but she's really passionate about doing it. She's really good at it, and our kids have kind of wrapped around. It wasn't. Our kids came to Holbrook when they were in 4th grade, 2nd grade, and a 9-month-old, and now they're 30, 28, and 23. It's been, it's just amazing how quickly that all passes by. And you just have to balance some things out to know that you're in a good place, because a lot of people ask, well, why are you still in Holbrook? What's going on? If you're in a good place, I can be as a superintendent, as a leader, I can be in 6 places for 3 years, or I can be in 1 place for 18 years. And this has been a good place. This has been a good place for me. They've accepted me. They've accepted our family. It's created, advantages of disadvantages. My kids were able to compete at a high level in sports and participate. They were 2 out of the 3 were valedictorians of the school system. And, it's just, one's a lawyer now, one's a speech pathologist, and one's into medical marketing. And that's from Holbrook, Arizona. Like, you can come out of Holbrook, Arizona. You can come out of any system and you can be successful out in this big world. You've been to Holbrook. Like, we're very rural, and sometimes we always think that you have to be in these metropolitan areas, these big cities and big schools to be successful. But the reality is there's an advantage to being in rural settings, and it's because you get to do a lot of things that other kids might not have the opportunity to do if they're in a bigger setting. So I think that's, have a great family, have a good foundation, enjoy doing what you're doing, and try to create those pathways to success.
Got a state champion in there too.
Yeah, my son, 2011, we won a state championship. And I talk about tribalism. We were in jobbing.com, which is where the Arizona hockey team used to play, 16,000 seat gymnasium, and and there was 2 other Native American schools on the north. We call it the north up on the reservation, and us. And out of that, and we were playing Fountain Hills, which is down in the valley. They had 6'8", 6'8", and they had a 6'4" guard that was phenomenal. The tallest guy was 6'2", and we were number one in the state because we had a good season, but we weren't probably their caliber. We hadn't played their caliber of talent. And when we got down by 12 points in the third quarter, and we thought, okay, we're going to get blown out here. Out of that 16,000, it's a bowl. Out of that 16,000, there was one section of Fountain Hills that might have been 1,000 people. The other 15,000 wasn't just Holbrook fans. It was Winter Rock fans. It was Alchesay fans. And they all started pulling for Holbrook. And it got louder and it got louder. You could see that other team. I don't know if you watched the Kansas Jayhawks the other night, but they were down 12 and they came back and they won in overtime because that crowd just made that team. Well, you know, from reffing,
Fog Island, baby.
The momentum shifts, right? And we came back and beat them by 7 to win the state championship. It was fun.
Wow.
And that's tribalism. Like, it's not about Holbrook or another, but when you're in a Native American community and their Native American communities are playing basketball, they're all cheering for the Native American students. We're all one at that point. And that's pretty cool. I don't think you would ever get that in any other environment, that you get multiple schools cheering for. And that's the kind of the tribalism that is so exciting. And yeah, we won that state championship in 2011. That was
2011. Fantastic. Robbie's a big hoops fan. We talked hoops. One person from your town, an NBA coach, right? Am I saying that?
Mike Budenholzer won a NBA championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Was with the Spurs for like 17 years. Only got 1 year with the Phoenix Suns, but he's a great guy. His dad was an AD and a basketball coach here, is in the Hall of Fame. We named our gym floor after him. He gave us $100,000 for scholarships, and just a great family. We celebrated his father's 92nd birthday this fall, and
wow.
So the whole family was back. It was really cool.
Once a Roadrunner. Robbie, I met your team there. Again, great environment. It was a wonderful kickoff. But talk to me about some expectations of your leaders. What is something that you think an administrator should be doing every day? Give me 2 or 3 things every day administrators should do.
Well, I think number one, keep kids your number one priority. If you're showing up and you're not thinking about kids, and it's easy not to think about kids every day, especially at a district level, because you don't see kids maybe every day. But you got to think about kids every day and every decision that you make. And then I think another aspect is you got to keep your teachers. Number 2, keep your teachers as the second focus, the second priority of your organization, because teachers are so valuable and they're so impactful on kids. They're really the greatest factor of success. We all have that teacher we remember that made that impact. And then I think the third thing is get 1% better every day. Like I talked to my leadership team about 1% better. You got it. Last year, you're only as good as your last win. You got to make sure that you continue to grow, because it's so easy to get complacent. And my philosophy is you got 3 to 5 years of a steep learning curve. And then from that 6 year to that 10 year, you figure out what you're doing. You got it kind of under control. You got some systems in place. But after that 10 years, I've seen leaders that just decline. They don't stay motivated. And at 1% better, man, you got to have that mindset, or leadership's so important that if you lose it, if people notice it real quick.
Nice. Well said there. Joe Stickle, longtime principal from Missouri, is tuning in, Robbie. And I know you got to get going to a ball game soon. He's there. He'll be supervisor, but he'll be watching that offense run up and down too a little bit, coaching in your mind.
Yeah.
But Robbie, what's something else you wanted to share? What's something else on your mind, or something that you wanted to say?
I think just that I've been blessed to be able to be in education. There's a lot of negativity about public education, especially in Arizona. We don't have a lot of good things going from our legislature or even the public. And in Arizona, we're competing with charters. We're competing with now what we call ESAs. And unfortunately, we have a a legislature that is really attacking public education. And I think that's nationwide with a lot of the things that we're seeing throughout the nation. But I just think that this is the best profession that anybody could ever be part of. Like, I don't regret 1 minute of being part of this profession. And I'm so appreciative that I've been able to be part of it. Just come off of 2 weeks of break, and I see people working over the break, and they, we get that opportunity. And I came back and I emailed our principals like, hey, you're blessed. Think about that. When you have a bad day, when you have a tough situation, and you may be working a little bit later every night during those sessions, but just think about where you just came off of. You came off the opportunity for a little respite, little break, and just be appreciative of that. And what the impact that we have in education, and I want to continue this past retirement, is how can we continue to be impactful towards the students and the children of America, no matter where we're at. I just think it's a blessing to be part of this profession, and I wish I could do it forever, but I don't want to do it forever. I want to try to figure out what else is out there beyond. I've been doing it since I'm 21 years old, man. I've been in a classroom or in a school or in a district office since I was 21 years old. It's time to figure out what else is out there.
I'll clap to that, and I agree there. I agree with what you said, and I saw it. I saw the gratitude. I saw the pride in your district there, and well said, Robbie. Cool. Well, let's get to rapid fire. This is going to be a full court press. I'm going to do a 2-2-1 full court press, looking to trap in the corner. Let's see if you can get through, okay?
I know how to break that press.
Get the RoadRunners. Here we go. Last movie you saw.
Happy Gilmore 2. We just watched that. Yeah, I'm not a big movie guy, but Happy Gilmore 2 we watched over the break, and that was pretty good.
Did you LOL?
It was. I loved Happy Gilmore 1. It wasn't. I don't think it was as good as the original Happy Gilmore, but I really enjoyed it. My wife and I did laugh out loud.
Last concert you went to?
Hey, went to Garth Brooks and Blake Shelton last year in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh.
But actually, we went to Kenny Chesney in the Sphere too. That was a really good concert. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. We went to 3
concerts last year.
I can't imagine what you paid for those Kenny Chesney tickets.
They weren't. It was for my daughter's birthday, and so we got 4 tickets, me and my wife, my daughter, and it wasn't too bad. It's not as bad as like the Eagles, and the Eagles are playing there. That's a tough one. So
yeah, how far are you driving to Vegas from where you're at?
4.5 hours. Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Yeah, you can go a little bit above the speed limit out on those roads.
Well, my son went to UNLV, so I've spent a lot of time in Vegas because my son went to UNLV and graduated with a law degree from there. So we kind of know our way around. Probably
RoadRunners and the Running Rebels there. Last song you sang out loud in the car.
Probably over Christmas. What I do as a grandpa is they call me Grampy. Is I make videos. So we take a lot of pictures around the grandkids, and then I put it into a little video, about a 2-minute video, and I send it out after we go visit them. And so we went to the Polar Express. So I made a video about the Polar Express. And my last one was just a family type montage of pictures. And I used Blessed by Kelly Clarkson.
Look at you, yeah, a little media star. Well, hopefully the video of Grampy on the podcast here will make it to them.
Yeah, I could show you. It's pretty cool.
I love it. Beautiful there. What's your favorite dish, Robbie?
3 ground beef green enchiladas from either El Rancho or Romo's. If you ever make it to Holbrook, Arizona, go to El Rancho or Romo's. Get the Mexican food. We talked about Coach Budenholzer, who's the NBA coach, and if he comes back to Holbrook, he's getting a green enchilada or he's going to Romo's because it's either the salsa or the green chili. I didn't know what green chili was when I moved here. I thought chili was meat and beans coming from Kansas, but there's red chili and there's green chili, and it's a New Mexico. Oh, it's addictive. It's wonderful.
Beautiful. We talked about longevity a lot, your marriage, your job. What's a stress reliever to keep things calm for you?
Well, I go out with a really good group of guys every week to play golf, and
Nice.
we compete. So I like to compete. It's a friendly competition. We all have our own handicaps, and some of us are 1 handicaps, and some of us are 20 handicaps. But we all get to play, and then me and my wife walk about 2.5, 3 miles every night, and that's a good stress relief for us.
Beautiful. Holbrook is fill in the blank.
Holbrook's a great place that you learn to love Holbrook. You learn to love Holbrook. You go through its old Route 66, and you come in and you see the community, and it's old, and but you learn to love the people. It's just phenomenal how well everybody is received in Holbrook, and how you become a roadrunner of Holbrook. So I think it's a great place to be.
Yeah. And as someone coming not from the community, I felt it. I felt the love. I felt the connection there. We're going to have Sean Tao on here, my man, coming up in a few weeks. Him and his wife, fantastic there. Robbie, we talked about a lot of passions, things that make you go. But what's a pet peeve? What's something that gets under your skin?
People that don't work hard. I just if you're willing and able, you need to be working hard. You need to be accomplishing things, and I think that's one of the things that I push hard with our leadership team and our teachers, and really our students as well, because hard work can get you anywhere.
I like it. You mentioned sports a lot. You mentioned the Jayhawks. Who's your team?
I'm the Jayhawks, man. I don't really cheer for the NBA too much. We follow the Suns just to see what's going on with them. Big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Bad year this year, but Kansas Jayhawks is probably the team that we follow the most.
Nice. And those games are on. You're an hour past them, so you're putting those games on at 6:00.
Yeah, we get them a little earlier, and they're in the ASU and U of A are in the Big 12. So now my son's got season tickets to the ASU, so we're going to be able to watch ASU and KU. Kansas State played Arizona last night, I think. So it's kind of fun that they're coming.
Will you wear a Kansas jersey to the ASU game?
Sure, of course. I got my doctorate from ASU, but I'm Jayhawk.
What's one thing you're curious about?
I think AI. I think that's in my wheelhouse right now. I'm curious about what we can do with AI to improve the field of education.
Amen to that. Robbie, give us a quote. I know you got to get running. Give me a quote to end the show.
Yeah, do all the good you can for as long as you can, to as many people as you can. I think that it's I got it hanging on my wall over here, but it's really something I look at every time I leave my office, just to do as much as you possibly can for as long as you can, to as many people as you can, in as many places as you can. And I think that's been my mantra here is do good. Do good. If you can do good, then that's going to be your plaque that you can hang on your wall when you retire and you're gone.
24 years in Holbrook, Arizona, 17 as the superintendent. You've done well there, Robbie, and this was a pleasure, it was an honor, and enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully you don't have to raise your voice about it.
Yeah, go RoadRunners.
Go Roadrunners. Dr. Robbie Koerperich, Holbrook, Arizona. Robbie, best to you, and good luck with the grandkids coming out. You're going 2-2. You're going up to 4 here.
Doubling up the last week. Got a boy and a girl coming the same week. That'll be interesting. And KU and ASU play that same week too. So I don't know how I'm going to navigate it all.
Is the baby here? Did he make the shot? What's happening? Wow. Awesome. Well, friends, check Robbie out. Look them up in Holbrook. And again, to my superintendent friends watching, if you need to learn some longevity here, certainly have a conversation with Robbie there. Nicole Tao is watching the show as well. She just jumped in, Robbie. So awesome. Well, this was a lot of fun, and my best to you in 2026, and keep surviving and thriving, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate all you've done for us Roadrunners. So keep up the good work.
Blessed to be connected to you, Robbie. We'll talk soon.